now. Just getting with my peeps. There's a lot of stuff happening in Los Angeles right now, man. It's crazy. But we got to get down to the history why this crap is happening, man. You got to understand that Mexico and the United States have been in war already. All we're fighting for is democracy or independence, citizenship, basically, you shouldn't be judging us that's what's crazy, man. They don't understand that the two biggest states, is Cali and Texas, and Texas has been annexed before. It went to war with the United States already, so it's like a repeat. But that's pretty crazy, man. Because I think in 1850, California became a state, and then after the war with Texas, it became a state too. So all kinds of things have been happening. It's kind of sad to see. What's up, Keisha? How you doing? Thanks for those who are coming in or want to watch the video. Like and subscribe. Appreciate that. But what's happening out there is pretty crazy because I don't think they shouldn't be rioting. Our local stores and all that stuff. And we've been through this already. It's already a repeated cycle. This country used to belong to Mexico already. It's not like, hey, go back to Mexico or go back to here, go back to there. No, 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 no. We're already here. We belong here. It's native land to us. Horrible headaches. Keisha, horrible headaches. Take some aspirins. But if you know the history, California has been here. I mean, so has Texas. Actually, Texas has been annexed by the United States. Yeah, we paid some money. The two biggest states in the country. It's crazy. But people got to understand and realize the history that's going on there. Right now, there's all kinds of riots and all that stuff. We understand that it's happening, it's taking place. We see it on TV, we see it on the newspapers. It's just crazy, man. It's just a lot of people are saying, is it the end of the world? Or it's just repeating itself, Has Mexico went to war with the United States? Of course they have, They fought for the country, Thailand not doing a good job. Don't stress, Keisha. Don't stress. Eat some beans and rice and Jesus Christ. Be positive, be positive. But I was tripping on that too, to know the history, a little bit of what's happening, what's taking its place in this course, because there's a lot of brown people on this side, that can still consider this land as part of their land. You got to understand this was Mexico land before the United States even became a country, before it became a nation. Actually, is the native land, to tell you the truth, So to us, brown people, it really means a lot, and I think that's what's really happening. And especially Trump. When Trump was nominating his presidency, that's the first thing he said. I don't know why people are surprised. He was gonna go. He was gonna do this. He was gonna do that. He was gonna attack, borderism, the border. Not being particular saying Mexicans, but that's what's crazy, man. That's what's tripping out. It's just like, and people still voted for him. That's crazy. People still got their ballot and they voted for Trump because they want to see some change in here because. Trump's trying to protect his borders from other countries. Right now it's going at it. It's crazy. So that's the history that I've been checking out and what's going on. And the two biggest states of the United States, they belonged to Mexico before. You got to understand that Texas became its own nation. To tell you the truth, but Maxie, I got some for you. There it is. The gordito's back. There it is. The hater. But that's what's taking place. That's what's taking its place in this course. A lot of people don't know why or what's going on. It's just like this country is changing. It's not only that's happening in California. It's going to happen all over the other states. Imagine Texas and people are headed for deportation. It's crazy. But you gotta know the history first. This was our land. It's just like other people have come in this country legally, right? They fought slavery. We fought so many things in this nation, man. That's crazy where we're headed toward right now. Like LA is a war zone. Like you go out there, it's crazy right now. Like Iraq. It's like Iraq, man. It's just crazy. It's supposed to get worse. They're releasing the National Guard. They're releasing,
you got a taste of what other countries go through.
Yeah, pretty much,
That's
man.
Crazy.
We're having that taste what other nations are going through right now and what they're experiencing, and it's just like freedom is everything, the United States provide that, and that's good that the United States is putting a wall, up and they're doing that, and Trump's trying to, build a wall for whatever reasons, and that's cool. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. But you know, he's protecting us, and that's we have to be protected because this is what happens when you're not, you know, this is what happens when you're not concluded what's really going on. Is taking this course. You know, you got to know the history of it. Deportation and all that stuff is just like it's crazy, man. Nobody wants to get deported, especially us Mexicans. We work hard, you know. We come over here. I mean, even World War II, you know, we had a lot to do with what was going on. You know, who provided all the food and all the vegetables. You know, we actually there's a scene there. If you guys go online and you guys figure it out. You know, the Mexicans were out there during World War II. You think it was feeding them? We were. That's what we do. You know, we're hard part of their land. You know, this is solid ground. This is where you put the feet. We come from the Aztecs, you know, the Mayans and all that. I mean, they come from this ground. Everything comes from a history past. Know your history first before you judge and say anything about people. You know, and that's what's crazy about it. What's happening is taking this course and taking this place. It's just, you know, I've been seeing the TV and everything that's going on and all that. It's just like, wow, it's crazy, man. But know your history first before people see, you know, before you say your things, you know. I know you guys see a lot of bad stuff, you know, the rioting and, you know, people going against the, you know, the law enforcement, they're going against this, you know, Border Patrol. You know, people love America. Don't worry, America's not going to go to war with Mexico. That's what people want to see, though. I ain't going to lie. You know, people want to see that. They want to see, you know, Mexico. They want the homies to start. They want the homies to start a riot. You ain't going to get that either, you know, because homies know you go to prison, you go to jail for what? You know what I mean? It's just like there's no, you ain't going to destroy your city over, you know. And that's what you see Saturday. You know, you see people going into freaking, you know, 7-Elevens, they're rioting and all that. It's just crazy. I've been tripping out myself. I was taking this view, was taking this score. Message deleted by Keisha. That's right, Keisha, you do your thing. But there's a lot of things taking place, man. Know your history. Just know that California was, you know, a part of Mexico. So was Texas. So was New Mexico, Arizona. People all the way to Colorado until they signed the peace treaty. You know, and that's where it comes down to. They gave money. You know, we gave money. We gave money to pay for this land. You know, we gave a certain amount of money for Alaska. You know, and it's just crazy. But that's what's going on. That's what's taking place over here. You know, Big D's from the city of LA, and I haven't been over there downtown. I don't plan to go over there. I have no reason to go over there. You know, so it's just like, what's up, drunken shit? What up, brother? I have no reason to go over there and see what's going on. You know, you never know though. You never say never, huh? You never know. You might see Big D over there just doing what he's doing. And do what you gotta do, you know, and that's what it is. But to know, for example, ship, you know, to know for people to know is just that this was, you know, our land, you know. Everybody, if you've been in school and if you've been there, they know that Mexico was part of the United States, you know. Before that thing started happening, long time. We're talking about before you signed the peace agreement. Before that, you know, go into that, you know. Yes, we're the two biggest nations. You know, I'm telling you, imagine when Texas gets hit. You know, there's still all kinds of nations that Donald Trump wants to go and provide his law and or whatever what he was doing, his whatever. It's crazy because the government's trying to do when it comes to legalism, who belongs here, who doesn't, for a long time, man. Even when I was little, I remember that stuff, you know. Big D, cheers, brother. What's up, brother? How you doing? Chief Zunga, that's a homie right there. I was with him the other day. I was with the homie the other day. We were chilling. We were chilling at Big Chile's house, eh? No, it was sold in the around 1850s. It was sold. It was sold. It was sold. That's why you gotta know your history, you know. But before that, even like they still depend on us, you know. Up to like today's date, they still depend on us. You know, when it comes to work ethics, when it comes to ethics and personalities and the way we do things professionally. You know, us Mexicans, we do things. Who do you think is gonna go out there and garden your lawn? Who do you think is gonna pick your fruit and your vegetables? And we're one of the hardest workers. We do what we got to do, you know, to make sure we're providing for the family, you know. So we're kicking it because, you know, the family, you're gonna eat some of this. Oh yeah. You know how we say beans, rice, and Jesus Christ, you know. But that's what's been going on lately over here. It's taking its place. There it is. There it is. Got to, homie, you know. They bring iron, beans, rice, and Jesus Christ all day. You know, gotta save my money, Maxie, for when I go on my next vacay. You can say, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? Save your money, dog. You know, home cooked. It's home cooked. I got the. Let's see. Got the air fryer on. Shout out to everybody on here. And that's what it is, man. Be cool, be cool, be cool. Beans, rice, and Jesus Christ all day, man. And that's all I need, It's the simple things, But what's taking place and what's taking course is crazy. I haven't seen this. We've been through this before. We had riots in Watts. We had LA riots before. And they want gang members. They want homies. That's what gangs got involved. They start togetherness. They start bringing together unity. That's where other people from other nations have come. They came over here. And they participate in this and that. That's what's going on. It's just, we just want independency. We just want our rights. That's what's happening now right now. It's our rights. It's taking place and taking course, and that's crazy. So somehow, some way, this country is gonna find itself doing what it's doing, and it's crazy what it's doing right now. There seems like a lot of division. There's a lot of hate, but there's really not. It's just us people who are not citizens. They say we're not citizens, but we're born here, or we have ties and all. They say that, hey, we're not this, we're not that, and they have a little disparity with that. They have a little difference. Those who came here, you gotta understand. There's generations that have been here. Their moms have been here. Their grandparents have been here. Like me, I probably I'm like 5th or 6th generation. And beside my mom, my grandparents being here. So you gotta understand that we have foot stills here. That's right, Chief. And that's what they're doing. They're just out there. What they're doing is just making a stand. They want people to know that, hey, hey, we have our rights. We don't need a person. We do it as a unit. We're out there together. That's what you see on TV right now. As they're coming together, and they're just. But I came out here to show a little education behind it. We have fought Mexican before. This was native land before. We are part of native. We have native blood in our system, and people got to understand that. We are hard workers. We are good people. We don't mean to cause anything like to throw this or throw that. We don't. We're just here for a purpose, and that's what's happening. Let's see. Hey D, let's see the what? Let's see the Virga. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that happy right here, Maxie. You gotta be respectful, homie. But those who come, this involves a lot of other nationalities. You gotta understand that too. Also, there's people. If you overextend, if you're illegal and all that, then you overextend it. Then they're coming for you, man. That's what's happening right now. Yeah. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. I go to the gym a little bit once in a while. I take care of myself. Appreciate that, Maxie. They come together. Tell the homie, the homie that's on here, Chief Zunga, he knows what's up. He's pretty. What? I understand everything's close. When it comes to piping, the other pipes and all that stuff. West pipes and all that stuff. West has different pipe differences. But we see, and the reason Mexicans come over here to make sure to have an opportunity, a chance to provide for their family. What they want to do is provide, and we're very good in providing stuff and having stuff and doing things and having stuff and doing things. We love the motherland. We love the motherland. I go over there still, and what it is. I know I broke up a little bit, and it was weird, and that's what's crazy. They started off and they build that treaty and things were different. You gotta understand, we sold most of this country for some money, and we fought with America. Mexico has fought we want to do this. We want to like, hey, you're doing your thing. Like, we don't want to be known for like, oh, we did this bad, we did right this and we right that. Like, nah, we're not for that. We're family orientated. Our parents come over. They work hard. They set an example for what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're supposed to do. So that they think about their kids. Being good standing in school. There's more things that are happening over here. But vote for it to fight the truth. Discrimination, discrimination, illegalism, look at even everything over here, every place that's over here is crazy, man. That's why I've been tripping out the Home Depots. Like, it's just like, wow, man. Can't even go get a haircut without freaking, let me know when it's good, Keish. Appreciate that. But that's taking its course and that's taking its place. If you guys, go back and read the books, yourself, educate yourself, what's going on. Just in case they belong to us. Actually, Texas got Annex, like, we always doing this, Annex, crap. Yeah, the United States has done things too. That's what people don't understand. That the United States has been there. They've been involved in these certain things that we're saying. That doing here. Yeah, we were born here. I was born here too, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful. I got a homie. And that's what's crazy, because a homie was saying, like, even if you're born here, like, everything comes from Baltimore, or I think Baltimore, your security, like, it's just crazy. And that's the things are gonna change. They say that this is gonna come on and that's gonna come on, but things already. Let me see. I bet they feel done grabbing just anyone from Brown and not illegal. They're just stirring up the pot. That's what's happening. I got pulled twice asking for my citizenship. I was like, I got pulled twice asking for my citizenship. I was like, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. That's what I'm saying. We're deterior. We look more offensive. Because we're brown, so it's attacking us. Certain people. So we gotta stand up for these reasons and actually fight for those reasons, those choices. Say, hey, just because I'm brown doesn't mean that I'm illegal. I was born here. Because Trump's trying to take away that away too. If you're born here and he's trying to take away your citizenship, it's crazy. But I don't think it's gonna go that far. I think we have a declaration of what's going on. We're fighting, for our independence and our choices, and that's good. We're making a statement for ourselves. This should have been dealt with a long time ago. But president after president, they don't want to deal with this, because they don't want to despair or be confused that, oh, well, are you Indian or not? Are you brown or not? Like, hey, it is what it is, Like, I come from a bloodstream, just like a lot of us have. We come from a stream like, hey, man, it's like, you have native in you, of course, have family and relatives that were born in Mexico, so of course we have, some heritage in us, But I say going to like around 1835, that's when things started taking its notion into the agreement started. You know what I'm saying? Even us as Mexicans, you think how what is it? World War II. Us Mexicans out there, on the fields, picking fruits and vegetables, shipping them to Germany and stuff like that. I mean, we have done a lot of stuff, man. We have not done stuff illegally, They used us in good preparation, So it's just like, people are just fighting back. They're tired of what's going on. President Trump, started something that I think a lot of people are fighting for. I don't even think he realized what people are be fighting for. Their citizenship, the right to be here. That's what it's all about. That's what's taking place. People are getting together, they're rioting, letting people know, like, oh, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. People could hurt, real injuries are taking place. There's businesses that already got looted, that got violated, for no reason, just because of this and just because of that, because of skin color, because of your right to be here. We have the right to be here. Honestly, we do. We do the right thing. We don't do the wrong thing. We go out there and we make the right choices. And we work as hard as we can. We're hard workers, and people know that. We're cool people. It's like everybody other race. They're cool. They're black, white. It's just like everybody is here. It's cool, man. these rules, too many rules and regulations. There got to be rules somewhere here and there. But like, hey, let it be, let it be. But that's what I was reading earlier, and I remember going to school. It was like peace treaty and all that stuff. It's just like after the British War, they came in agreement, and the President Polk, like he wanted to take over. They wanted to annex Texas, and then he wanted to take over the whole country because he wanted the East Coast and West Coast. And you can't change history. History is what it is. Where we're at because of those choices. And people want to change some of those things that just we have to fight for our citizenship. And I think if other people have fought for other things, then I think we have the right to fight for what's going on too. Especially when it comes to our rights, when it comes down to that. But it's cool though. We gotta do what's right, and what's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right. And what you see on TV, don't believe everything you see or everything you hear, because there's a lot of guesses out there. Who knows? Big D might be live in LA one of these days. Sad not to sad, my dumb phone types what Alexa. That's what it does. I don't know. The Wi-Fi right here is like really, really. Today's tripping. It's crazy. But hey, don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll be right here. Big D's, LA, representing. I'm glad you guys were here. You guys came along board. You guys not knowing, so you're gonna see nobody riding. Everybody riding? No. Nah, not everybody's riding, man. Because I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in burning communities down and your local. The people work hard for that stuff. So I don't really believe in that stuff. Going out there, getting arrested, or just obtaining some bull crap. For what? Whatever I could do out there, I could see right here what's happening is taking course. So, I hopefully that, the gente does what they do, and, and they're against so what's happening is taking place, So if some people are out there, my advice is like, if you see something wrong, say something. Like, if you see someplace getting, like, they're stealing the beer, they're stealing this, they're rioting or this and that, then it's okay to go tell your local law enforcement town, hey, they're doing this, they're doing that. But it's crazy. It's happening. It's happening right now, and it's taking its course. And people are surprised. That's another thing. Like, why is this taking place? Well, hello. Like, don't you know that this doesn't happen? Didn't you vote for it? Yeah, Alondra and Atlantic is crazy. I was at Atlantic the other day, and I have family members that live over there. They said that's pretty crazy over there. That's taking place and taking its course. But we knew that this wasn't happening. This is what we voted for. That's why I trip out on people. They act like, oh, why is this taking place? Or why is this happening? Oh, hello. Like, didn't you not know this is going to take its place and take its course? But that's what it is. You support what you see, and you support what you don't see. So, me personally, I don't support the negativity. I only support the positivity. And the positivity is like, hey, if you're here, like, your citizenship, however you done it. I'm on board of LBC in Compton, Keisha. Oh man, you on the border already, huh? That's what they do, man. You got on the border, on the boardism. I'm on the border, but like I said, I'm fifth generation. I've been here for a while. Family's been here for a while. They worked hard. They grew up. They worked. That's what a lot of people are here. They work and they support their family back in Mexico. Why they do that? Is because over there their policies are different. Everybody knows that, man. That's crazy. But they gotta do what they gotta do, in order to support them. You have family members over the border. Hey, LA's doing it right. California, it's happening, but it'll be resolved pretty soon. But that's what happens when a lot of people come from over here to obtain. They have jobs over there, but they get good jobs over here and they save their money. They have a chance. They don't have to go. There's laws over here in this country and stay. Hello. That's why things are taking place right now. So there's good things that are happening, and they take them back over there. What's up, A&D? What's up, my brother? Make sure you guys go subscribe to my boy right there, A&D. Make sure you go support Keisha. Yeah, keep it peaceful, because what's going to take next? And they're just like waiting for somebody to pass away. That's just crazy, man. I don't want to see that. We don't got to die for that. It ain't that desperate, But this was native land before. This was Mexico before all that 1800s. We fought against Spain. So Mexico's already fought with the United States. twice, to tell you the truth. The Alamo, and then after they went towards Santa Cruz, kind of like, man, still sold us out, eh? But hey, it is what it is. It's just what it is, man. Things are changing right now. A lot of people are saying things are changing because what just so happened. Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out to everybody out here. You say just sub Keisha. Didn't know you had a channel. Yeah, sister Keisha has a channel. Our sister from another mister. But it's crazy, man. There's a lot of history that's going on, it's taking place, and it's taking course. Like I said, for not. I hope everything be generous and be good. But I don't want things to be bad, because it's crazy, man. We are a peaceful nation. That's the way I like it. I like to come home, relax, just chill. I like to go places, where I know I'm gonna be cool, be safe, and that's the way it is. That's where people are looking at. Especially if you're brown, I want to be cool. I want to be pulled over because it's just the color of your skin. I mean, that's just we already know where that leads up to. But there's no good. But I like it though. I like coming over and doing over. I like shout out to all my subscribers. Make sure you like and subscribe. You guys are cool, man. Too shy. Keisha, you gotta stop being shy, man. You only live once. I don't go live though. Too shy. You only live once, man. Live your day like your every last, man. Last week or two. And what's crazy, because I had an uncle that just had a military thing. They popped out, and how he went out was crazy. Because it's crazy. It's just crazy. Like I said, I ain't gonna go live and all that. I've been to a couple of my family members have passed. That's why I've been kicking it with the homie. The homie who's been on here, Chief Zunga. He knows what's up. And it's crazy. It's not worth it, man. So that's where everything's been taking place. And now I see that people are getting attacked. Because injuries they could obtain. It could lead to another thing. One thing could lead to another. That's the way it is right now. But that's the way it is. But I'll let you guys know I want to be on here. I'm already half an hour. What? Appreciate the likes and everything. Just know your history a little bit more. Go back to it. Us brown people, Mexicans, have Spaniards, whoever, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. We come a long way. Everybody loves this movie, love that, love what we do. We love this. They're involved in our culture. But it is what it is, man. It's good. That's all people are out there for. They're standing up for their rights. Their citizenship. Is very important. But you go live action. Yeah, I think action. I've been in his live before. But shout out to everybody that's been on here, man. That's going on. If you guys want some more history, just leave your comment. Let me know. I could provide that history. So I think it's stuff we need to learn, especially as brown people. We can't forget about education, man. We gotta go. Action, no distractions. I'm a gringo. He says it in Spanish. He says he talks in Spanish, but he says it in English. We know what a gringo is, white boy. That's crazy. That's funny. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you for that. Thank you. You white girl. There ain't no color line here, man. You just come here and just be positive instead of negative. You deal with BS all day. Why deal with that? There's no need for that. Everything else, just give it to God. Cause God, that's where we really come from. If you want to know where you come from, your generation, and this and that, go back. I'm telling you, man. It's just history is very important, man. So it's not first, what's taking place. With that being said, half an hour. What's up, everybody? Make sure you guys hit your likes, hit your subscribe. Our big deal be here. I'm at it. If I'm in LA, in the next couple of days, who knows? Who knows where big day? I could be at the beach. I could be at the pool barbecuing. Who knows? But I like to make people laugh. It's cool, right? A shout out to all the people that are out there protesting for their citizenship. I think that's what they're supposed to be. I think that's very important. I think rules are rules, and the law is the law. Yes. And there's ways to get your citizenship to be a citizenship here instead of breaking the rules. I've seen that happen too. I know people that fought for the citizenship. They had to go through this. Yeah. They had to take a test here, a test there. I'm like, well, you got to do that. Like, that's crazy. But you guys be safe, man. Before you guys judge, you remember, judge yourself first before you judge anybody else. We're in the land of milk and honey, man. Ain't nothing like the United States. So shout out to the USA. But this was, Mexico land, and a lot of us still think this, as part of it still is. We still live in it. With that being said, it's your homie Big D. Good night, everybody. I'm out.